Welcome to another ABS online video. Let's go and find out what we're going to learn today. It's big. All the world in week 25. Wow, that's really big. Really? All the world? Wow. Do you remember what geography means? Well, we are going to look at different countries around the world. Geography is the study of land. And of course, land is where all the countries are. So, if you study geography, you study where the countries are. You study the mountains, the rivers, the lakes, the seas, the oceans. So, this time, it's countries from around the world. There's half of the world. Can you see where you live? Well, I can see my country, but it's really quite difficult to see exactly where I live. There's so much of it. We are using adjectives again. Adjectives are great. They tell us so much about the nouns. Now we've got to remember a country is a noun. It's a place. So we've got lots of adjectives to describe lots of countries. Hooray! No new adjectives, but a new way to use them. So we've had adjectives, comparative adjectives, and superlative adjectives. We're going to see them again, but also a new way to use them. Great! Oh, it's historic and grand. Well, we might not be able to use those to describe a country, but we used them last week to describe buildings. We looked at buildings. We used some great new adjectives. Let's have a look at the first building. This one is not historic and grand. It's high-rise and modern. A good place to live. But maybe you like this place. This one, well, it's historic and grand. Where would you prefer to live? I think I'm going to go for the big castle. What a great place to live. Some were not nice. What about this one? It's rambling and tumbled down. I think maybe a long time ago this was a really nice place to live. But not now. That's sad. Okay, everything is really nice this week. We have not got any old, ugly countries. Nope. We're only going to say good things about countries. Super. Again, what countries can you see there? I really love looking at different countries and where they are and where people come from. People in every country are a little bit different. That makes them really interesting and really good to know. So what countries do you know? Well, I think we all know England, Thailand, Malaysia. Now, we could look at the maps of those countries, but that's really difficult. So we're going to look at the flags. Now, some countries are very unusual. England is a country, but it's inside another country. What does that mean? Well, England is in the United Kingdom. Maybe you've seen UK, and that means the United Kingdom. And England is a part of the United Kingdom. Actually, that's the longest country name in the world. We've got a superlative adjective there, longest. The full name is the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Wow, that's quite a lot to remember. So, we've got the flag of the United Kingdom, and then next to it, with the moon and the sun, we've got the flag of Malaysia. And then underneath, we've got the flag of Thailand. The flag of every country is special. It's really important to the country. So it's good that we're using flags. They are great countries, England, Thailand, Malaysia, but we will not use any of them. So which countries will we use? So we've got adjectives. Oh yes. How can we use an adjective to describe a country? We can say a country is big, but they are all big. So they're really big, bigger than your house, bigger than your city. So, of course, they are all big. So we have to compare them. Something can be really big, but still smaller than something super big. So you could stand next to a really big buffalo and say, wow, that's really big. But then an elephant comes along and you'd have to say, oh wow, hold on. Now the buffalo is small. So we have to compare the countries because they're all big. So we can't say big, big, big. We're going to use our comparative and superlative adjectives. We can say a country is small if we compare it to another country. So we put the two countries next to each other, and then we can say which country is big and which country is small. Okay, so this week it's all about comparing the countries. So let's ask about some countries. What are the biggest countries in the world? We're going to look at 3. We've got the USA, that's big. Canada, that's big. Russia, that's big. So now we've got 3 big countries. So let's compare them. Which one is the biggest? Let's find out. The USA is big. Canada is bigger. So that means Russia is the biggest. The USA is big. Oh yes, it's really big. But Canada is bigger. Wow! But Russia is the biggest. It's so big. It goes halfway around the world. That's how big it is. Now, we can say that in a different way. Russia is the biggest. Well, that's not different. That's the same. So the superlative stays the same. Russia is the biggest. But this time, Russia's at the top. It's the first one. Canada is the second biggest. So now we've got Russia number 1, Canada number 2. And we've used the superlative again. Canada is the second biggest. Can you guess what we're going to say next? We've got one more country, haven't we? The USA. And it's going to be number 3. The USA is the third biggest. Okay, so this time we've said it the other way around, but we've sort of got first, second and third. Biggest, second biggest and third biggest. Okay, let's do the same thing with some other countries, but this time not big. Let's find a different adjective. Now the smallest. What countries are very small? Now of course they're still big. It'd be quite difficult to walk all the way around a country, so it's still big, but small compared to other countries. What are the smallest? What countries are the smallest countries in the world? The Vatican, Monaco, Tuvalu. Wow, some good names there. But have you ever heard of these countries? They're really small. Of course, they're very, very important to the people living there. And I think that they're really proud to live in those countries. But which one's small, which one's very small, and which one is very, very small? Let's find out. Tuvalu is small. Monaco is smaller. And that means the Vatican is the smallest. The Vatican is so small that the whole country is inside another city. Wow! Wow! There's a city in Italy called Rome. It's quite a big city, but it's still only a city. And the Vatican is in the middle. So a whole country inside a city. Oh, wow, that must be quite small. So Tuvalu is small, Monaco is smaller, but the Vatican is the smallest. Let's see if we can say that in a different way. So this time we're going to start with the Vatican is the smallest. Which one is number 2? Monaco is the second smallest. So that means, do you remember? Which one is number 3? Tuvalu is the third smallest. I think when we finish today, I'm going to look for these countries. Where are they? What do they look like? I did not know those countries. Well, we have some more new countries. When we have finished, try to find all the new places. How are you going to do that? Well, you could get a big globe and carefully look at all the different places. But these countries that we didn't know, they're really small. So you might have to go onto the internet, type in the names of the countries and see if you can find a map. The world is so interesting. So many different places to look at. Now, what about the richest? Whoa! Yes, great. I want to be the richest. I do. Yep. I don't think it will ever happen, but it's a nice dream. The countries are Qatar, Luxembourg, and Singapore. How many of those countries do you know? Qatar, Luxembourg, Singapore. I really like the flag of Qatar. Maybe we can do that. Maybe you can tell me, what is your favourite flag? For me, so far, Qatar. Super colours. But what is the richest? Singapore is rich. Good place to live. Luxembourg is richer. That's a better place to live. So that leaves Qatar is the richest. Wow, the richest country and the nicest flag. That is really good. Let's see if we can say that in a different way. Okay, do you remember how we do that? What do you think? Qatar is the richest. Qatar is the richest. That one stays the same. What's number 2? Luxembourg is the second richest. So, can you now guess what we have to say next? Singapore is the third richest. That's great. I would be very happy to live in any of those countries. But would I? Where are they? Maybe they're very rich, but not in a very nice place. Lots of things to think about when you say where you want to live. What about the most people? Oh, there are lots of people everywhere in the world. We call that the highest population. The most people is the highest population. We're going to look at China, India, and the USA. Oh, the USA we've seen before. Right at the beginning, we said it was one of the biggest countries. I think it was the third biggest country. But what about population? Which one has the highest population? The USA has a high population. India has a higher population. And that means China has the highest population. More people in China than any other country. Let's turn it around. China stays the same, doesn't it? China has the highest population. India has the second highest population. And I think that puts USA third again. The USA has the third highest population. The USA, very, very important, very big and lots of people, but never number one. Just one more to look at. Some very long rivers. So these aren't countries, but they are really important. Rivers bring water to people, and very often food as well. So very long rivers must be very important. Which three rivers shall we look at? The Nile. The Nile runs through Egypt. The Amazon. The Amazon runs through Brazil. The Yangtze. The Yangtze runs through China. Now, if they're very long rivers, well, they're probably going to run through more than one country. Some of these are thousands of kilometres long. Adjectives really are great. They tell us so much. The Yangtze is a long river. It really is. It's very long. But the Amazon is a longer river. Can you guess what we have to say next? The Nile is the longest river. The Nile runs through two very big countries. It goes all the way through two very big countries as well. Very, very long. Let's turn it around again. So, the Nile, that stays the same. The Nile is the longest river. What's number two? How do we say that? The Amazon is the second longest river. And that leaves one more. What do we have to say? Can you think and work it out? The Yangtze is the third longest river. So they're all super long, thousands of kilometres. Wow, what can you remember? There was a lot. What is the richest country? What country has the highest population? And what is the biggest country? Let's see. Do you remember? That is the flag of Qatar. Qatar is the richest country. That's the flag of China. China has the highest population. That is the flag of Russia. Russia is the biggest country. Wow. I think China and Russia would be very easy to find on a map. I'm not sure about Qatar. See if you can find it. That was a great week. Do you know all the countries? I don't. Look for them on a map. The world has so many different places. When I look at a map, I always see something new. A new country, a new city, a new river. So many things to see. What a beautiful world. So we've got something new next time. What's it going to be? Who knows? We will have to see you soon to find out. Let's go and see our two final friends. We know that they want to say thank you. See you next time. Bye. Thank you for watching our video today. Please don't forget, subscribe, and that will help us to make lots more videos for you. Thank you. Bye.